Well, it's time for 2022 GGBO. Another scratch build for me this year. I may do two like I did last year. I'm not sure yet about the second one. And what I've decided to do is to build a Tuttenbacker. I'm Steve Tuttle. I'm going to build a Tuttenbacker, as you can see over my head here. I have a couple of Rickenbackers. The black one here is a 330 12 string my wife gave me when we got married in 1979. So it's a really nice Rick. And this one's a late 90s 360 6 string. And I like them a lot. I've played, but never owned a small Rick, what they used to call a 3/4 Rick. It's a 315 through 325 series, like Lennon used to play. And as you can see here, I have an empty hook right here between these two Ricks. And so I think I'm going to make one the way I want to, with the small body, but quite a bit different. It won't be the same construction as regular Rickenbackers, or Rickenbackers. I'm sorry. You're going to catch me saying it both ways. I'm sure I think they pronounce it Rickenbacker, but oh well. These are a few of the other guitars I've made in the past that I've kept. If you guys watched any of my stuff last year, you know that the main one I built last year was for guitars for vets. This guitar is going to be for me. The next one I build, and I may film if I have time to finish it by the time GGBO is done, is also going to be for guitars for vets. Generally, I'm able to build about 3 a year. And 2 of them go to guitars for vets, and I try to keep one. And there's a few on the wall behind the camera that you don't see that I have too. So anyway, going to try to fill this slot up with another Rick inspired type instrument anyway. And my plan is to use all Rickenbacker electronics, same types of electronics, same switches. I'm going to use their pickups, their tailpiece, their bridge. And I'm hoping that, even though the construction is going to be a little bit different, is going to give me that Rick sound that I'm looking for. We're just going to have to see how it goes. I'm going to have to get started. I've actually had this guitar in mind for many, many years. I have a few sketches down, but I haven't got anything like a plan, so I'm going to have to work on the plan real quick, come up with that, and then get started. And you can see I've got, like I said, I've got room for it. So, well, I always have room for another guitar. That's not a problem. I got 2 empty walls here, so, you know, we'll see how it goes. But hopefully it'll turn out good. It's going to be mostly maple construction, a few odd things thrown in, and we'll see how it goes after we get the drawing put together. Okay, let's go. GGBO 2022. Last time I made ash body guitar for guitars for vets. I've already made them 2 this year since then. So this one's going to be for me. Looks like I'm trying to start sketching it out. I have some ideas of what I want to try to do. It is going to be a through neck guitar, which I've never made before, so that'll be fun. You've got to build at least one of those in your life. And so I'm going to start sketching out and see what we come up with. Camera over here. Now you can see my idea, perhaps. Don't know how well it's going to show up, but I'm sketching out the basic shape of a Rickenbacker, a small-bodied Rickenbacker like Lennon used to play. And I own a couple of Rickenbackers. I have a 1979 12 string and a 90s version of the 366 string. Those are both larger bodies. This is going to be the smaller body, but I've kind of, instead of being like a 315 to 325 model, which is the smaller bodies. I'm going to do that size of a body, but I'm going to do it more like their more modern 350 model, which is it has a longer scale, because the old small bodies also had a small scale, it's like 21 3/4 or something like that. This is going to be 24 because my fingers are too old and fat to fit into the small fret slot. So yeah, so I'm going to try to build this at about 24. I don't know what the modern 350s are at, but yeah, so it should be that. I'm going to have the carb down here at the bottom. I'm going to try to do some things maybe a little different than what Rickenbacker did. Again, this is going to be totally through body. You'll be able to see the back of the neck all the way to the back of the body, all the way through. And then I'll have regular Rickenbacker hardware, and it's going to be mostly a maple guitar with the Padauk down the center of the neck and the Padauk accents. At the moment, I'm thinking we'll not have a pick guard. I'm a wood guy, not a pick guard guy, so I want some more of that wood to show, which means I have to have a back cavity. All the Rickenbackers are done kind of like straps are done, where you have, or Telecasters, where you have the electronics on the back of the pick guard. It's all routed out from the top. You just put it in there. So this will have to have a rear place for the electronics. So yeah, I'm going to model, take some measurements off my 360 to get the placement of the controls all right. So it's going to be a 5-control plus a switch, 2 tones, 2 volumes, blend switch, which is what the Rickenbacker said. And it's going to have just 2 pickups. I'm going to have 2, so I'm going to have 3. 2 thing. So yeah, so I'm going to finish sketching this out, and hopefully when we get to the end, we'll have a Rickenbacker. Or it won't really be a Rickenbacker. It'll be a Tuttenbacker. There you go. So here it is, sketch out of something similar to a Rickenbacker, drawn out to scale. Always a good idea to do a scale drawing. I've got the side too, so you can see that for the Rickenbackers they left a large height here. All the stuff is surface mounted. In their case, it's surface mounted to pick guards like fenders. In my case, I'm not going to have a pick guard. I don't care for those too much. So I'd like to see more wood. So I'll have a back entry to the controls, and these will still be surface mounted, but they'll be surface mounted directly on the wood. And haven't figured out what I'm going to do with the strings yet. I could have a tailpiece like they did, or if the angle works out okay with the bridge, I could do string throughs. I'm thinking about maybe doing that too, just to be a little bit different. And again, like I said, the neck will come all the way through, come out the back. The Padauk in the neck will be exposed back through here, as well as on the back and the headstock. And anyway, should be pretty good. Looks like it's going to come out nicely. And anyway, so yes, hopefully everyone will quickly see the value of having a full-scale drawing. This doesn't mean I won't change a few things as I go along. Probably will. Always run into something that you don't expect. And but this is a good place to start and reference back to. Okay, well, at some point I guess I'm going to have to start making some sawdust. So I decided to, here's the drawing up on the wall, and what I decided to do was to make the center block of the glued up neck tapered at the same taper as the fretboard will be. So to do that, I have put together a jig to hold this to cut the tapers. And so this will run along the side here. And what I typically do is to cut proud of the line, leave myself a little bit of room, because it's a pretty thick piece of wood. The blade could wobble or something, put too much pressure on it. It's pretty dense wood, it's Padauk. So I'll do that first, and then I'll put it right on the line and cut it where I'm just shaving off the edge, and that should end up with it being pretty close. Clean it up with a plane if I need to, and we'll see how that works out.